Hey, welcome back to GT Canada. Today I want to talk about water ballast versus lead ballast versus sand ballast versus whatever other ballast you can use on your surfing boat. Now, if you're new to this channel, first of all, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe down below. This is Gears and Tech. That means I cover stuff about gears and technology. This video is about surfing and it's about boats. All right, that's covered under the gears part. It's kind of maybe a loose bit about gears, but that's what I like, so that's what I'm talking about. But we also cover technology. If you think you're interested in those things, subscribe down below. You can catch the conversation every time that we release a new video talking about gears or tech. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about ballast on boats. If you have not seen it already, I made a number of videos that talk about how to properly weight an old direct drive boat so that you can surf. And one of the comments that a lot of people come back with is, Anton, my direct drive boat's only rated for 1,000 pounds of weight, 1,200 pounds of weight. It's not like these big surfing boats. So here's the thing, you've got a smaller boat. You've got a Coast Guard plate that says this boat is suitable. I'll talk about my Mastercraft TriStar. It's a small boat, it's a 19-foot boat. And it says that I'm rated for 8 people or 1,200 pounds. Now, 8 people at my size is 1,600 pounds. So I can't actually carry 8 people on my boat. Once I put, let's say I put 6 people on my boat, that takes me to 1,200 pounds. Technically, I can't run any ballast, but I do run ballast. I run 2,000 pounds of ballast and I still fit 6 fat guys like me in the boat. And the boat doesn't sink. And if I'm using water ballast, I'm not actually over the Coast Guard rating. Why is that? The beauty of water ballast is, if you fill a ballast bag up, this is gonna blow your mind, okay? If you fill a ballast bag up on your swim platform, okay, at the back of the boat, you fill it up all the way. Let's say it's a big one, okay? A 1,000 pound ballast. You might not have a 1,000 pound ballast, but you probably have an 800 pounder or you probably have a 400 pounder. Doesn't matter, pick any one of those ballasts, stick it on your platform, fill it with water. If it was full of water, okay, you got 400 pounds of ballast on your swim platform and you roll it into the water, what would happen to that ballast? It has 400 pounds or 800 pounds, or in my case, 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of water, and I roll it off my swim deck. What's it gonna do? It's gonna sink right to the bottom of the lake, right? And I will have lost my ballast forever. Or will it? Here's the thing. Water, inside of water, doesn't weigh anything. The only weight, once I roll that 1,000 pound ballast into the water, the only weight in that ballast is the weight of the bag. And the bag weighs, what, 10 pounds? 10 pounds, maybe? I don't think they even weigh 10 pounds. But will 10 pounds sink to the bottom of the lake right away? No, it won't. It'll somewhat float around the top of the water. It'll sink a little bit, but it's not gonna sink fast. You would be able to jump in the water, stick your hands under the ballast, and hold it up while you drain the water out or try to roll it back up onto your swim platform. And that is why water ballast is the preferred ballast to use on your boat, because if for some reason your boat took on water, a lot of water, a swamped boat actually still floats. Why does a swamped boat actually still float? Well, part of the protection that the US Coast Guard in the States, or any Coast Guard service in any country, is they require that boat to still float if it sinks. So one of the ways they do that is they add buoyancy stuff. So they'll add styrofoam in there somewhere, closed cell foam. Closed cell means it doesn't absorb water. So a sponge is very open cell. You stick a sponge in water, it soaks up water. If you stick styrofoam from your TV that you just got in the water, it won't soak up water and it just floats. So they've got styrofoam, closed cell foam around in the boat. The cushions are actually float. They are made with closed cell foam as well, so they don't soak up water. All of that makes the boat actually still kind of floaty. Because your boat is floaty, as you can see in this picture here, these guys are standing in a sunken boat. The Coast Guard rating for your boat is not actually how much weight it can take before it sinks. The Coast Guard rating is how much weight can you put in your boat after it's been swamped and still float. So my 1,200 pounds, as long as we are all standing in the boat, we can stand and the water will only come up to our knees while we float in the middle of the lake in our sunk boat. If I have 2,000 pounds of water ballast in my boat and it sinks, once the boat sinks so that the ballasts are in the water, they weigh nothing. The bags weigh something, but that is all. And that's why you want to use water ballast. These guys in this picture could have potentially had their boat full of ballast. I can see surfboards there, so they probably had their boat full of water and they were surfing away and then they sunk the boat. So the guys who are using lead weighs the same, whether it's in the water or out of the water. So if you add 1,000 pounds of lead, that does come directly off of your Coast Guard rating. If your Coast Guard rating, I'm gonna give you a little more capacity. Now let's say your boat has 2,000 pounds capacity. If you put 1,000 pounds of lead in, you can only carry 1,000 pounds of people or your boat will actually sink. The people in the boat will make the boat sink down and it'll go down a little bit deeper into that water and you might not get it back. Same with the guys that are running lead shot, that are running sandbags, that are running anything, steel plates, lots of old batteries, whatever. If you've got something other than water, your boat it's running the risk of actually sinking, truly sinking, like what you see in the movies where the boat splits in half and sinks to the bottom of the lake. For me, that's why in my surfing videos, I say, run 2,000 pounds of ballast to get a better wave, knowing that you will be at the higher end of the capacity for that boat and you might have to drive it a little bit more carefully and you might have to be aware of where your weight is. But if you do take on water, you will not lose your boat. It will get swamped. You will have to get towed back to shore. You will have to try and put it up on a trailer, get all the water out. You'll probably have to do a lot of engine work and you might lose a lot of your electronics, but the boat won't be a total loss. So I know this has been a long explanation for why you want to use water ballast instead of lead or any other material. Just know that if you're using water ballast, you run the risk of sinking if you get the water below the water line or the rails below the water line. You will take on water. But as long as you're above that, your risk is very minimalized and it is okay to run higher than the Coast Guard rating of weight on the boat. Disclaimer, and I probably should put this first, but disclaimer, this is an opinion article. This is my opinion. I am not telling you to go and do what I just said. I'm saying that this is what I'm comfortable with doing based on this information. And if you listen to this information and decide that you are also comfortable with it, you and you alone are taking the responsibility for the things that I say in this video. If you are not sure if you want to take that responsibility, do not do the things in this video and just listen to it as an opinion piece. So if you're hearing this, make sure that you paid attention to the disclaimer at the beginning of this video. It is an opinion piece. It is my opinion that this is okay and that you would be okay. Decide if you believe me and if you want to give it a try for yourself, knowing the risks and that you will own the consequences of taking those risks. I will not accept any consequence for you listening to my opinion and following it and having bad side effects. I'm glad you did watch this video though, and I do appreciate you watching. Put your comments down below, let me know what you think, and I hope to see you again, but until next time, have a great day.